Welcome here to Baumgardner Field. Nathaniel Finch with Jace Hodge. Our sideline reporter is Elijah Sutton. Here's the game 2 of this double header. The Hounds hosting the Truman State University Bulldogs. And right off the bat, on the mound is Caitlin Brown. A couple nice pitches here. Result of that first game, Uindy 18-3, the win. See if they can replicate some success here for the second as this pitch a little bit outside. Here's Brown, launches the second one a little high. Three-one count, Jace. Not quite the start that you want when you're up on the mound.
It's always nice to get control early, get that first out under your belt.
Kelly Unrein takes a swing at this one. High pop out to right field, and that one controlled pretty easily.
And with that wind out there, they're in the outfield. It could be a little bit difficult tracking those balls down.
Yeah, wind was a huge factor in that first game, Jace, for not only the players on the field, but for those of us trying to broadcast it with all the wind that was going. You're right, could be a pretty big factor. Engels caught that last fly out, and that'll bring up to the plate Emily Eberwine. Eberwine in that last game is at the plate 3 times, unable to record a hit. Tries to lay this one down. Hounds all over it, get the second out of the inning.
And Truman State just still trying to figure out how to get something going off of that last game where they couldn't get really much going, losing by 15 runs. This time, trying to lay a bunt down, get someone on base here early going, but just can't handle it.
O'Connor runs up and scoops up that one. Puts Cam Patterson in the tough spot here. 2 outs. At the top of the first.
She had 2 strikeouts in that first game and 3 at-bats.
That pitch a tad bit outside despite Reese's attempt to frame it. Brown on return to the rubber. Launches this one a tad low. This wind, Jace, you talked about the factor it's been. There were plenty of times, especially pregame, where that wind was blowing straight from where we're sitting now to the outfield. It's supposed to carry balls, but now it's kind of swirling. And now we see it going, in different directions. You can see the flags there towards the middle of your screen. Right now it's blowing from left to right from our vantage point. Sometimes it blew kind of towards left field, sometimes went right dead center, and sometimes it blew right back in our face. So
it makes it difficult for the outfielders to track the ball if that ball doesn't get popped up very high in the air. So you can move around a lot, but right there you see a walk.
An early walk will put Cam Patterson on first base.
And she leads the Bulldogs in walks this year, 10 of them, so make it 11 for her now.
With that, let's bring in the third member of our broadcast team, Elijah Sutton. Elijah, how you doing?
Hey, I'm pretty good. How about yourself?
So far, so good, Elijah. What do you got for us?
Well, see, the first game, these women were really struggling to adjust to that win, but this game, it seems like they're looking real good. Truman State was trying to get a feel for that while the Hounds was really covering the ground. It looks like they adjusted really well. The wind seems to die down just a little bit and seems more controlled, and they look real good out there. But let's see if Truman State can get a hold of the ball this game.
How cold is it out there, Elijah?
Man, I cannot feel my hands for quite some time. But I got some gloves, so it's looking better now.
We're powering through it, that's for sure.
Back up to you and Daniel, Jace.
Appreciate that. As we head back down to the circle, Caitlin Brown launches this next one, and it's sent foul over that visiting dugout. Alex Beard currently up to bat, launched that one out, sets up this 1-2 count. Next one a little low, ties it up, and the runner gets home back to first base safely. Eberwine quickly sliding back in.
You could see everyone there had a bit of a lead off there, and catcher noticed it, throwing over just to be safe.
This one sent right to shortstop, and an easy out, hitting that second bag. We'll quickly retire the side here. Not a bad little start for Indianapolis. Not a bad start there from Don Proctor to get that one out. So with that, we'll step aside, return momentarily. Uindy TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
The world's a crazy place, and it's only getting crazier. And it seems like no one wants to talk about it. So I'm going to. That's why I created Real Talk, a roundtable discussion show where each week I bring on different guests to talk about hot-button issues in society. Join me every week to get your questions answered, Wednesdays at 1 p.m.
We gotta take Bryce Young, right?
What did you say?
No, it's Bryce Young. It's obviously Bryce Young. Who we're taking.
C.J. Stroud, the obvious pick for Steichen
Come on,
and the Colts.
Ohio State quarterbacks, we know they don't
I mean,
win.
come
How many
on.
national
He's got the
titles
whole offense
has-
handed to him. Check out Last Call. We've got all the sports info you need from
Back here, Baumgardner Field, campus of the University of Indianapolis, ready for the bottom of the first here. Scoreless through that first half inning. That'll bring up the Greyhounds. Jocelyn Calvin to start things off. She'll be followed by Megan Nichols and Lexi Reese to start things off here for the Hounds.
And Calvin, 2 RBIs, part of that 18-run game for the Greyhounds in that first game of the afternoon. She can continue where she left off.
Brianna Klein standing inside the pitching circle here for the Bulldogs. As we'll see Calvin hop back in that right-handed batter's box. Watches that one a little low. Suddenly a nice count here for the batter. With this 2-0 count. Next pitch comes through, and how about that? Ropes it right down the line, just out of reach of the pitcher in Klein, and it'll be a base hit right off the bat here for Jocelyn Calvin.
Squared that one up, put it right down the middle in between the shortstop and second baseman. That's exactly where you want to put it if you want to get on base.
That'll bring up Megan Nichols to bat with that runner on first. Next one hit a nice healthy cut over to right field, and that's dropped. That's a live ball, hits the warning track. Just enough for a single though, as Calvin had to wait on it thinking that would be caught. Instead, not able to corral it.
That was right there at the wall too. Just a little more power on that. That would have been out of the field here. But the right fielder there cannot track it down. You could see there. She didn't want to advance too early and get out. So waited a little longer and only ended up being a single.
It was definitely a tough play to try to make if you're Macy Taylor of the Bulldogs over there in right field. Look at this one, a nice healthy cut over to left field. High pop out, and that's caught for the first out of the inning. Runners a hold.
Some nice contact early on from here from the Greyhounds. Seeing that ball well, hitting that ball hard.
O'Connor steps into the batter's box here. It was 1 for 3 last game, including a run. Hit that one over the fence. How about Emily O'Connor? One of the bigger bats on this squad. Two-time All-Midwest region player. Was first team a season ago, second team 2 years ago. This next one crosses a plate and hits her in the left ankle. That one looked painful.
And that one's tough. You always see that occasionally, hit off the bat right onto yourself. Those are always a bit painful. A little bit of a stinger.
She'll make her way back here into the batter's box. There's Bree Klein ready to go as well in the pitching circle. That one in the dirt. Take it back before the runners had a chance to do anything.
That's an easy ball to see right there. That one right into the dirt. Didn't even make its way to home plate before hitting the dirt there.
Here's the next pitch, a nice healthy one. That'll be a hit and maybe more as it drops just over the head of second base. Rolls in to load up the bases, 3 singles to start this one off.
And it looked like Calvin could have gone to home if she wanted to. It would have been a close call. The third base coach just deciding to keep her there. Load the bases up, 1 out. Good chance to score here. You can put a ball in play here, even in the outfield you can tag up and get a run.
Number 23, Shelby Cook.
That'll bring up the bat of the first baseman, Shelby Cook. Cook batting lefty here with these bases loaded. Watches the first one a little high. It's a ball. For Cook this season, batting average .340 on the year. 34 hits coming into today, 32 runs. Been a good player for this squad, and she takes a nice swing at this one. That'll be popped out to the left field. Picked up pretty routine, but now you got to make the tough throw, and she can't. Sliding in for the first run of this day is Jocelyn Calvin. First run of the game there.
Like I had mentioned, to put a ball in play into the outfield, you can tag up, score a run. That right there is what they did.
Callie Unrein, a tough call trying to make that, not only make the catch, but then throw it in time. Especially with as short as the bases are, it's a tough ask, and she wasn't quite able to get it in.
Those are always tough plays to make as an outfielder, and you know you have a runner on third that can tag up, have to throw it in as fast as you can. It's a tough play.
Next batter is Sydney Perry. She takes a healthy swing, sends it out of the park. Behind her, it's a foul ball. Watches the next one high. It's a ball, tie up the count.
Those high pitches have been a theme for the Bulldogs, including that first game. There's a lot of ones that went high, a lot of walks that led to. See the pitcher for the Bulldogs here can't get some more control on this ball.
Next swing, roped down the line, but sent foul. Wait for the pitcher to get back in the circle here. Bree Klein. She winds it around. It's low and in the dirt. Ties up the count again. Got 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. A run up on the board, bottom of the first. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Thought about it. Instead, will ring her up. That will end the inning. A strikeout for Bree Klein, her first today. Will retire the side, and with that, we'll come back for second inning action. The Greyhounds, 3 hits. They got 1 run off of those, no errors. More next, right here on Uindy TV and the GLVC Sports Network. Get caught up here.
Bryce Young, right?
What did you say?
No, it's Bryce Young. It's obviously Bryce Young. Who we're taking.
C.J. Stroud, the obvious pick for Steichen and the Colts.
Ohio State quarterbacks, we know they don't
I mean,
win.
come on. He's got the whole offense handed to him. Check out Last Call. We've got all the sports info you need from around the nation and right here on campus. Plenty of Uindy sports.
College football and college basketball.
The NFL.
The NBA.
MLB.
Don't forget about motorsports.
And I'll give you all the gambling picks you need to know to make some money. Right here on Last Call, Mondays at 4 o'clock on YouTube.
The world's a crazy place, and it's only getting crazier. And it seems like no one wants to talk about it. So I'm going to. That's why I created Real Talk, a roundtable discussion show where each week I bring on different guests to talk about hot button issues in society. Join me every week to get your questions answered, Wednesdays at 1 p.m.
We're back here and ready to get this second inning underway. So far, the Hounds a 1-run advantage. Right now, leading off for the Bulldogs, Mackenzie West. She gets hit right off the bat, put her on first base. After her is going to be Bree Klein, Lauren Stady after that. Should we get to a fourth batter, Maria McGonigal will be up next.
Number 16, pitcher Bree Klein.
Klein's a pitcher, but she can hold her own here. She lays down a bunt, a chance for the Hounds to get around at first, but advance the runner regardless, so we will see West sit at second base.
And that was a plan there. Get the runner into second, into scoring position here for the Bulldogs. Lay down that bunt, get the runner into second.
First baseman number 3, Lauren Stady.
Stady makes her way into the batter's box. Watches this one go. It's in the zone, though. Called a strike. Caitlin Brown, a nice pitch there. Gets ahead of the count. We'll adjust some gloves here and get back into the batter's box. Next pitch low, that's a ball. Pitch. Ball gets back into the circle though before West had a chance to do anything with it, although it does seem like she's going to be pretty aggressive here, Jace. Especially with the Bulldogs, the way that they finished last game. They're just trying to get some runs up on the board. Be a little bit more risky to do so. Here's a big cut. Can't get any of it, and that is strike number 2.
Bulldogs are trying to get a ball in play, give them a chance to get that runner home.
The windup for the 1-2 pitch. It's swung on and tapped foul. It'll keep the count at what it is. Last inning, just 4 batters came up to see the pitches from Caitlin Brown. Had 3 outs and a walk. The walk left a player stranded on base. That one sent foul. Laying it about 20 feet to the right of that foul line. Stady back into the box, awaits the pitch. She swings at this one. It's a slow one. It's going to be dropped by the pitcher. Can they get there in time? They can't. Not only you are safe, but the runner advances into third. West sits on third base, and Stady makes her way over to first. A little pitcher's meeting to talk about that one.
And that was a tough play to make there, the ball rolling right at you. Took a little weird spin off the dirt. Couldn't corral it in.
With that, it's a good opportunity to talk to our sideline reporter in Elijah Sutton.
Man, Nathaniel, you can see it's starting to sprinkle a little bit, so I'm wondering if that water is being a factor for these ladies out there, for these really good athletes. But the Hounds are real vocal out there, so I wonder if that's keeping them warm and really deciding how they're managing to get themselves out there on that field. They're really vocal and having some good movement. So let's see how this inning turns out.
Yeah, definitely something that we can pick up pretty often with this crowd mic. Agree with that. Enjoying the amount of, like you said, Elijah, just both these teams being pretty vocal.
Truly. Truman State's really finding themselves this inning too. I like how they're really focusing up and actually being way more aggressive this game than they were last game.
With the runner in scoring position, she'll make it home. We got 1 out there. So it'll tie up the score here at 1.
And that showed their aggression right there. Back up to you, Nate.
McGonigal makes her way, thinks Elijah over to first, but then gets out, but it's going to be a sacrifice RBI. A couple of these where we've just seen kind of softly hit just to the left of the pitcher here.
They're just trying to advance the runners, get them in the scoring position, and then put the ball in play, give those runners a chance to move forward.
That'll go as an unearned run after West was hit by the pitch. Teammates help move her around. There is now Macy Taylor up here into the batter's box, the lefty. Next one, a ball, ties up the count here. Here's one, another bunt laid down just in front of home plate. How about that? The throw from Lexi Reese gets there in time.
Nice reaction by Lexi Reese to get to that ball in time to throw the ball to first base, get that out in the inning.
And that will retire the side. However, the damage was done. Truman State crosses home plate to tie things up at 1. We saw no hits, 1 error, and 1 run got home. That will leave a runner stranded there as well in Stady. So with that, when we come back, we'll have the the bottom of the second here for Uindy. Don Proctor up to bat after this on Uindy TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
Are you feeling alone in your faith? Uindy Catholic gives you an opportunity to get involved in a religious community on campus, providing sacramental needs and fellowship for prospective students and giving you a sense of belonging.
We just want you guys to know that God loves you, He delights in you, and He's in awe of you, and we would love to meet you. So you should come on out.
Uindy Catholic, a community for you.
Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz.
Don Proctor steps in and awaits the pitch here from Brianna Klein. It'll cross and she'll swing at this one. It's a high one, tough play to make. She can. It goes foul. We'll give Proctor another chance. How about the diving attempt there from Truman State? First baseman and Stady. Proctor returns to the box. Again, tied at 1 after an inning and a half here. Uindy just won the last game a little under an hour ago. 18-3 was that final score. Finished it off in the 5th. 5th straight game where these two teams have met and Uindy wins based off that run rule. Won 17 straight against Truman State. Bulldogs, though, putting up an early fight. Next pitch, swung on, sent foul. Down the third baseline. Proctor a little behind in the count chase.
Yeah, some better control from the pitcher here from Truman State. They didn't have much of that in that first game. They were giving Uindy free walks and free runs most of the game. But here we can see that getting some better pitches to the Greyhounds.
Back into the circle. Here's the windup. Sends this one a rope over to the left fielder, but that one's pretty quickly picked up by Kelly Unrein. A line drive will result in an out for Don Proctor.
Some good power and contact on that ball. Squared up nicely, but just roped it straight to the left fielder there.
Next up to bat, Megan Weinigan. fielder, left-handed left fielder, watches that one go by. Thought about slapping it. Instead, takes the ball there. Leaves her with the 1-0 count.
You can see that rain coming down now. That wind, it's some rough conditions out there.
That one, another ball. She takes a few steps out of the batter's box, thinking about a slap bunt here. Instead, easily watches 2 go by. It's a 2-0 count. This time she does take a crack at it. Goes off the back net. Called a strike, 2-1 count with an out. Nobody on here for the Hounds. The next pitch, Uindy, watched it go by, 3-1. Next one, watches that go by, and this time it's a strike, so it'll bring the count to full. 3 balls, 2 strikes with an out.
I think we'll see Klein bring some heat here, trying to strike out. Trying to get a strikeout here, make it 2 outs.
Uindy takes a swing at this one, and it goes foul. Seen a couple of those here, really making Klein work for this one. The next pitch, well over the head. That is a walk. Uindy reaches base on balls.
Nice at bat from Uindy. Made Klein work for every single pitch, fouling off a few. And good vision too on those on every single one of those balls.
Did a great job, watching that last one slide, and will count as the first walk of the day here for Brianna Klein. Here's the wind-up, takes a healthy swing at this one. That one goes foul, 0-1's the count. Ready to get back underway as Klein returns to the circle. Ingles batting cleanup here. Batting in that 9-hole, that is, as she lays a nice bunt here. Can she get there in time? Tries to show off her speed. Can't get there. Just half a step behind the throw. How about that toss?
Laid down
the
that
play
bunt
by Alex
right
Beard.
in front of the catcher. Maybe a little more push to it. Get it out a little more in front of the catcher. She would have gotten there first. Still a really nice bunt there, but good reaction from the catcher to get the ball there to the first base, get her out.
Will advance Megan Uindy into scoring position. She currently sits in the middle of your screen on second base. Here's one, swung on, sent right into the gap. That'll score at least one as it gets to the warning track. Here comes the throw. How about that one?
That's exactly where you want to put a ball. If you want to score a runner from second, put a ball right in the right field or left field gap. That'll score a run 90% of the time.
Jocelyn Calvin with the RBI double, put her on second base, and that will bring home Megan Uindy. Another unearned run, this time reached base on balls, reached all the way around to home plate. Gives the Hounds the penny lead here as Megan Nichols comes into the batter's box.
A nice play to have it, 2 outs too, 1 out away from ending this inning, going back 1-1 again. But a nice play from Calvin to square up that ball. That one in the gap.
With the 1-0 pitch here. Now nursing a lead, another runner in scoring position. about that hit from Calvin? They're really showing off why they call it scoring position. Yeah, you're 2 bases away, but all it takes is one healthy crack at it. Sends it over to the fence, and scoring with ease was the runner. And Weinigan. Here's a windup, big swing. This one they're going to say is foul. Boy, was it close as it tried to hang on there and then eventually went to that far back right corner.
Just didn't drop in time, a bit too much air time. Looked like it may have went past the first base bag. Fair, but curve foul.
Nichols works with a 1-2 count. Humps into the box after reaching on a single, was stranded on third base back in the first. Next one, well over her head. That's a ball to tie it up. Calvin retreats back to the bag. The 2-2 pitch, there's 2 outs, runners on second. Here's one, a big swing, and that's gonna drop in. That's gonna score another one, as we'll see Calvin come home, and that's another RBI double, back-to-back for the Greyhounds. And they put 2 quick ones up on the board.
2-out rally here from the Greyhounds, 2 quick doubles. That's all you really need in a game like this. 2 quick doubles and the game can be changed.
Calvin picks up the second run of the inning, the third Hounds run of the game. And Nichols finds herself, same way Calvin did, an RBI double. I'll bring up Lexi Reese, big hitter here for the Greyhounds. Batting .359 this season, has 33 hits, 23 RBIs, and she's got a runner in scoring position right now, as Nichols patiently waits over on second base. Here's the next windup. That'll be right down the middle, and Reese watches it go by. You can see how violent that wind is. Makes things really tough here for both teams. This one swung on and popped up. That is going to end the inning, and it does. How about the Greyhounds, though? 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors. They leave a runner on second, but a good inning for Indianapolis as we'll head into the top of the third. Truman State, they're going to come up with the top of their lineup next. Uindy TV, GLVC Sports Network.
Bryce Young, right?
What did you say?
No, it's Bryce Young. It's obviously Bryce Young.
C.J. Stroud, the obvious pick for Steichen and the Colts.
Ohio State quarterbacks, we know they don't
I mean, come on. He's got the whole offense handed to him. Check out Last Call. We've got all the sports info you need from around the nation and right here on campus. Plenty of Uindy sports.
College football and college basketball.
The NFL.
The NBA.
MLB.
Don't forget about motorsports.
And I'll give you all the gambling picks you need to know to make some money right here on Last Call, Mondays at 4 o'clock on YouTube.
The world's a crazy place, and it's only getting crazier. And it seems like no one wants to talk about it. So I'm going to. That's why I created Real Talk, a roundtable discussion show where each week I bring on different guests to talk about hot-button issues in society. Join me every week to get your questions answered, Wednesdays at 1 p.m.
Back here at Baumgardner Field, University of Indianapolis, as the Hounds ready to get back underway in the top of the third. With that, we'll have a conversation with our sideline reporter in Elijah Sutton. Elijah, what do you got for us?
Hey, Nathaniel, hey, Jace, you can see Coach Frost is over there bundled up with that violent wind really hitting them in the face. And that on-deck circle over there is just blowing around. The wind is so violent that you can even see third baseman Cameron Patterson out there on the field when she's out there for Truman State with her sunglasses on, just to keep the dirt out of her eyes.
Meanwhile, Proctor sends this one to Cook to get the first out of the inning here.
You can see the Greyhounds, they were utilizing their bunts last inning to advance those runners effectively while hitting dingers on top of that, left and right. Back up to you, Nathaniel and Jace.
Thanks a lot, Elijah. So you call it the 6-3 in the scorebook. Here's a pop-up. Sent to the second basewoman. Oh, how about that? Splits the gap on the run, trying to get her out, and she can't. Call it 2 separate errors there on that play, almost as, how about a little bit of luck from Emily Eberwine? Tried to bunt last inning, got out there. This time able to reach on the error.
That's a tough one right there. You have 3 players trying to track one ball down. There's a miscommunication between them. No one can get that. It drops right in between all 3 of them.
Here's the next pitch. Well outside. It's ball 2. The 2-0 pitch. Sent across the plate, trying to get the runner out. Instead, overthrown. Here's another error. The runner will return back to second as Emily Everwine, a free base there. Reese threw it to nobody as it went over that second base.
Yeah, it split the shortstop and second baseman there. Everyone could have advanced to third, but it would have been a close play there at third base, so she decides to stay at second. Stay in scoring position here with only 1 out.
This one, put the runner on first, reaching on balls, sets the runner on first and second. Now, quick pause for Caitlin Brown. She'll think about that one. Reese comes up, shouts some things out.
Catcher number 25, Alex Beard.
Just the second walk of this contest. One from Caitlin Brown, one from Brianna Klein. Beg your pardon. Second walk here from Caitlin Klein, third of the contest. From the circle, here's the toss, goes over the plate, swung on, and sent foul behind the umpire.
It's a big chance for the Bulldogs here, down by a run. Got a runner on first, second, only 1 out. Put a ball in play here, maybe score a run, get the other one on second or even third, and it's game on.
Beard's got a big bat. The best hitter here for this squad. For Alex Beard, leads the team in batting average, home runs, RBIs. Catcher also plays a little bit of first base. 7th in the conference in batting average. 6th in RBIs and hits. So not only one of the best on this team, but one of the best in the conference as this one heads over to that out of bounds area. Sends foul to the right of that foul line. Come back here, little high five. Emily O'Connor gives it up to Caitlin Brown. Tries to add a little bit of confidence for her pitcher. The next swing, she'll take this one and lay it in the dirt. That'll go foul, despite O'Connor's efforts to tap the bag and get the out there. Instead, it'll be a foul ball.
And if O'Connor could have gotten that ball before and went foul, she could have tagged third, throw it to first, double play, and in the inning. So close call there for the Bulldogs.
Would have been tough there. Would have had to take a few steps forward. And, you know, if she had a better angle, then would have been able to make that play. But JC Ryan, I think it might be best for her situation that she kind of let it go foul, live to throw another pitch. And that pitch will be a ball here. Ties up the count. The next pitch swung on, sent high and into right field. This is going to be a tough one. Right center hits the ground. This will score at least 1, probably 2. Here is the toss from Nichols. And how about that, the double? RBI double. We've said that a few times today. Scores 1. Now, Truman State just 1 run away from tying it up. They've got 2 runners in scoring position right now.
Yeah, for the Greyhounds, you got to be careful here. Only 1 out, 2 runners in scoring position. The ball into that outfield could possibly score 2 runs, give the Bulldogs a lead.
We talked about the bat of Alex Beard, and there she shows it off, sends it out to the fence. It was definitely a tough play for Megan Nichols. Did not have much of a chance there. Beautiful hit. Sends a runner home. Here's another opportunity to do just that. Maybe 2 runners. They've got 2 in scoring position. Reese tried to frame it, turns around, asks for an explanation, but he's going to call it a ball. Number 1, another unearned run today. Reached on an error. Frames that one too. It's another ball. Here, Caitlin Brown can't get a call.
Those are 2 pitches that are right on the edge of the zone. 2 close calls for the umpire to make, and both of them just a little bit, 1 high and 1 outside.
Brown with the windup. Tosses this one in, and it's hit foul. Off the bat and into the dirt from Mackenzie West. Was hit by a pitch, the very first pitch that she saw from Caitlin Brown in that first inning. Ends up going around the bases and being that lone run through the first 2 innings for Truman State, but now new life. They're just a run away of tying it up. Ball's in the dirt. Could potentially load the bases here with another ball. It's a tough spot to be in, especially with only 1 out here if you're the pitcher and Caitlin Brown.
She's going to try to make sure, do whatever possible here to put this one in the strike zone. So expect to see the batter maybe take a shot at this one here, no matter what the pitch is.
3-1 pitch. She will take a shot at maybe a tough pitch instead. They'll get the 1 out, trying to get some runners to retreat back to the bases. Dream scenario for Indianapolis is get the out, nobody advances. That'll put up 2 outs. She's going to get the ball to first base here and then head to the dugout. That's the plan.
Number 16 pitcher, Bree Klein.
Brianna Klein, the pitcher. Fielder's choice into an out. Last inning. Sees this one go, sends it right into the gap. That's going to score at least 1. It does just that. 1 runner crosses the plate. Cameron Patterson ties it up. Winning run, or the go-ahead run, and Alex Beard sitting on the third base.
Now with the pitcher providing a run now for the Bulldogs, bringing 1 in. You see the third base coach there for the Bulldogs stopped a Beard there from heading home. Beard wanted to go home, but quick stop there, stay at third. Tie game now, still 2 outs.
Not quite as aggressive as they were early in that first inning. Seems like they realized that maybe not the same outcome of a game that they saw just a couple hours ago. 18-3 was that final score. Indianapolis with that win. Truman State a lot more competitive in this contest. Already tied their run total from that game.
They're looking a lot better so far in this game. Scoring the ball up better, having better vision, getting those walks.
The 1-0 goes through the zone. Lauren Stady reached on an error, was left on first base in that second inning. This time a chance at redemption. Takes a swing here, misses all of it. And now Brown ahead in the count. Kind of like where you're at here if you're a pitcher. Of ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Despite the fact you get a runner on first and third.
Get out of this inning here.
Down and away. They'll tie it up. 2-2's the count.
If you're Brown here, you just want to throw 1 last strike, get out of this inning. Still a tie game. You don't want to allow any more runs. Allow the Bulldogs to take the lead here.
Next pitch outside. Suddenly full count with 2 outs. The walk would load the bases.
Big pitch right here.
Eberwein's already scored. Patterson's already crossed the plate. Beard sitting on third. Klein's on first. Here's one blooped into the gap, and that'll score another one as Beard runs by the plate. Give her the go-ahead run as Beard makes it a 4-3 game. Klein advances to second. A nice hit from Lauren Stady. A couple of these in the gap here for Truman State. They're really getting this offense going.
So we're going to have a pitcher change now. That's going to be it for Brown.
Brown will end this contest, or at least for now. She could always come back into the game later, but pitched 2 2/3 innings. Did allow a couple of hits, a couple errors, got runners on base as well. 4 runs in that time. With that, let's step aside. We'll come back for the rest of this top of the third next. Uindy TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
Lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
Man, we gotta take Bryce Young, right?
What did you say?
No, it's Bryce Young. It's obviously Bryce Young.
C.J. Stroud, the obvious pick for Steichen and the Colts.
Ohio State quarterbacks, we know they don't
I mean,
win.
come on. He's got the whole offense handed to him. Check out Last Call. We've got all the sports info you need from around the nation and right here on campus. Plenty of you.
The first pitch from Jaden Casebolt will cross the plate here momentarily with McGonigal taking the swing. Sends that one foul. 0-1's the count.
Casebolt brought in here to try to end this inning, get out of this inning, don't allow any more runs up, go into the bottom of the third. Down by 1. You know, with Uindy's batters here, they can get right back into this game.
High and outside goes the pitch. That's a ball. Ties up the count. Here's Casebolt. This one goes outside as well. 2 straight outside of the zone. Ball's low. 3-1 is the count.
A chance to load the bases up here for the Bulldogs, and they get one more high-low outside ball.
Casebolt, an impressive 1.63 ERA, 6-0 on the season. Has seen 11 appearances, and this one puts a runner on as a walk.
Loads the bases up.
Definitely a tough position to come into if you are Casebolt. Come on, obviously, she was responsible for one of those walks, but now with 2 outs, you got runners on every base. Macy Taylor comes up, grounded out last inning, takes the swing, comes back towards us and hits the net.
And if you're Casebolt here, you want to get this last out, get out of this pickle here. Don't allow any more runs. Don't allow this lead to extend for the Bulldogs.
Taylor back in the box. Here's the pitch. Watches it go by, framed nicely. That's a strike. 0-2's the count. Definitely a good spot to be in if you're Jaden Casebolt. Next one swung on, also sent foul. Count remains at 0-2 with 2 outs. Ducks on the pond. The Hounds trying to keep him there. Swings and misses, and that will strike out Macy Taylor. How about that to retire the side? Jaden Casebolt comes in, throws one heck of a pitch. How about 3 straight, maybe 4 straight great pitches here. Damage still done, though, as we saw 3 runs in that inning on 3 hits, 1 error. That will take us to the bottom of the third. The Hounds, they'll come up to bat here after this. Emily O'Connor will come up with Shelby Cook and Sydney Perry right behind her. That's next. Bottom of the third inning, Baumgardner Field, University of Indianapolis. The Hounds, they just allowed 3 runs in the top of this inning. They get a chance to tie or retake the lead here in this inning as we'll see Emily O'Connor lead off for the Greyhounds.
Best batter for the Greyhounds so far this season.
Third baseman already has a single today. Ended up stranded on second. That was back in the first. Got a break in the second, but now she is first batter to come up here in the third for Indianapolis. Next pitch, well above the head of Emily O'Connor. Takes a practice cut. Wind continuing to circle in different areas. This one, an inside pitch. Call it ball 2. The 2-1 toss. This one crosses the plate in the zone. That'll tie it up at 2-2 is the count. You talked about it, Chase. Emily O'Connor, capable. Some pretty great things with this stick in her hand. Had that home run in the last game a couple hours ago. Here's this next one. Launches that one. How about that? That's foul ball, but she really killed that one, huh?
That one was absolutely blasted there. Just could not keep that one fair. That was definitely a little bit foul.
Count remains at 2-2. We're at the bottom of the third here. O'Connor batting leadoff. Cook and Perry behind her. This one well out of the zone, high and away. Fills the count. She'll step back into the box. O'Connor with the full count. Here's this one. She sends it right to the right fielder, Macy Taylor. An easy one there. She puts it in the glove and gets the first out of this inning.
Made the pitcher work there. Forced the pitcher to throw a strike to her. And she did, but she couldn't make the right contact on it. She made some good contact, but right to the right fielder. Not exactly what she would have wanted there.
Shelby Cook. Sacrifice fly last time she was up in this position. That was back in the first. Jocelyn Calvin ended up scoring one of her 2 runs. How about this? A beautiful hit just in front of the left fielder and Callie Ennerine. That'll be a single. Cook reaches with a nice outfield hit.
Number 1, shortstop.
Now coming up to bat, we'll see Sydney Perry. Been out there in short today. And she'll await the Brianna Klein pitch. Watches it go by. Good decision by her. Perry struck out. Back in the first, that was to retire the side, trying to avoid striking out here. She sends that one as the first strike. Foul ball puts the count 1-1. For Perry this season, 305 is her batting average. Has 25 hits, 10 RBIs. Meanwhile, Shelby Cook patiently waits over at first. Here's Perry to step into the batter's box. The right-handed shortstop swings at this one, a healthy cut. It's going to drop in the warning track, hits the fence. Rounding third, what is she going to do? Instead, she'll stay put. How about the double, though? Puts Sydney Perry on second base, puts Shelby Cook on third. 2 runners in scoring position for Don Proctor, who's going to come up now.
That's what you want to do for the Greyhounds. You got down by 1, but immediately responding, putting 2 runners in scoring position with only 1 out on the board, giving Proctor a chance to send possibly 2 runners home and retake that lead.
How about this? Uindy, 3 innings. We've already seen 3 doubles. Not really getting these home runs today, aside from the Emily O'Connor one, obviously. But it's been a quite impressive day when it comes to extra base hits. Gets on second there. This one goes right to the third baseman. Called a 5-3 ground out as Proctor. First pitch lays it in the dirt. Megan Weiningen now 2 outs, 2 runners in scoring position. Tying run on third. Go ahead run on second.
Megan Weininger.
Weininger takes a few steps out, watches it go by. It's a ball. Last time she was on last inning, reached on balls and then made her way all the way around via Calvin double to score. A double here could potentially score 2 runners. Takes a nice one here. It will drop. What are they going to say? It's foul. They said that the makings, you know, if it was a little bit straightened out, to be one heck of a hit. Instead, drops and counts as a strike.
It's a big at-bat here for the Greyhounds, down by 1, trying to at least get 1 on the board to tie this game back up, heading into the 4th. 1-1 count, see what they can do.
Again, 5 straight games that the Hounds have played the Bulldogs here and won, you know, ending the game early with that run rule. So I think we were due for a little bit better of a game here. Truman State definitely giving us one. Truman State University with this early advantage over Uindy. Weininger back into the box. 2-1s that count. Swings at this one. Sends it past the gap. That'll be enough to get 1 run home. The single from Weininger, an impressive one as it just barely squeezes by the third baseman in Cam Patterson. That will bring Shelby Cook home.
And that's exactly the at-bat you wanted to have there. At least get 1 run on the board. Give yourself the chance to at least get more possibly. If that's the hit you wanted, to get it in the infield through the gap between the third baseman and the shortstop.
A lot of these hits today we've seen, Jace, have been out into the outfield. You know, you drop them in these gaps. This one, though, it was roped in between a couple of infielders there. Pretty impressive.
And they all work the same. They all score runs.
Tori Angles grounded out her last time up an inning ago. Watches this one go by a tad bit low. It's a ball. Angles sees Sydney Perry to her left on third. Looks right, sees Megan Weininger on first. Try not to strand 2 base runners here. High pitch goes over the head, well inside of Tori Angles. Has to duck to avoid it. Ball 2. Brianna Klein lets that one get away from her a tad. Back into the circle. Here's the next one. Watches that one go by, and this time in the zone. 2-1s the count. Watches that one. It's a ball.
Chance to load them up here for the Greyhounds. If she can throw another ball here, you load them up. Chance to take the lead again.
If this is a hit to the outfield, suddenly you're up by 2. Instead, big swing hits the big athletic recreation center behind us. This big bubble takes a couple bounces and rolls its way down. Went about halfway up the facility. I wonder what it sounds like inside of there when a ball hits the roof like that. Just a big dome, the way that it's set up. Especially with that type of a hit there that we just saw. As Angles walked, ball 4 puts her on first. Loads the bases.
And you're giving Calvin a chance here now. 2 at-bats, 2 hits for her, and she's scored twice as well. Big chance for Calvin here to get It's lead back for the Greyhounds.
Low and inside. Jocelyn Calvin, 2 hits today, an extra base hit in the second, and she scored both times. Pretty impressive start to this game for her, and we're just in the third. Hits this one, that'll go right to Olivia Daniels, sends that one over to Lauren Stady, and that will retire the side here. End the third inning. The Hounds, they tie it up with that run. Did so courtesy of 3 hits, no errors, and 3 runners left on base. With that, when we come back, top of the fourth, that is what we have next. Nathaniel Finch, Jace Hodge, and Elijah Sutton.
The world's a crazy place, and it's only getting crazier. And it seems like no one wants to talk about it. So I'm going to. That's why I created Real Talk, a roundtable discussion show where each week I bring on different guests to talk about hot-button issues in society. Join me every week to get your questions answered, Wednesdays at 1 p.m.
Leading off the top of the fourth inning for Truman, left fielder number 5, Callie Unrein.
Back here ready for the top of the fourth inning. Boys, this contest flying by. Jason, I know you're not allowed to say that, but it sure has been much different than the last contest that we saw here a couple hours ago, as we've got currently up to bat the leadoff hitter, Callie Unrein, top of the order. Here comes the pitch. It is tapped foul. Jaden Casebolt, the pitcher. And with that, get a chance to talk to our wonderful sideline reporter and Elijah Sutton.
Hey guys, you can really tell these women are really bearing the cold out there, as I cannot. My hands are freezing, but they are out there really being troopers. They're hitting that ball and not even phased by the bat. But, man, I'm really impressed with them. I hope I could be like them someday.
Definitely tougher than you and I, Elijah. We're staying in here nice and bundled up warm in the press box. You're trying to find some ways to stay warm down there. It's been a cold one. You know, we got up this morning, started setting up for the broadcast, and sunny skies, 50-plus degrees. But since then, things have really tanked. This wind, a big factor. It's just been cloudy for the last 6 or 7 hours. It's been a big change from what we thought we would get this morning.
Oh, absolutely. But it's been a real entertaining game, this second one. So let's see what they do for the rest of this game. Back up to you, Dale and Jace.
Thanks a lot, Elijah, as we have a full count here. Jaden Casebolt about to throw pitch number 6 to Callie Unrein. Couple outs for her. She's 0 for 2 on the day to this point. Swings at this one, though. It's a healthy hit ball out to left field. She'll come back and get another crack at it, though, just to the left of that foul line. Here comes the payoff pitch. Top of the fourth, no outs. It's low. Second walk of this contest for Jaden Casebolt. She's seen 3 batters, 2 walks.
Center fielder number 13, Emily Everline.
That one that wasn't a walk was a really good strikeout to get out of a really precarious situation there at the end of the third.
Yeah, you're right. Give her the credit she deserves. Good point. 2 walks and a very important strikeout. As this one, a bunt attempt goes foul, strike 1. Greyhounds pitchers collectively this game, 4 walks. 1 runner hit by a pitch, another one reaching, 2 of them reaching on an error. We've only seen 3 hits allowed by this Uindy pitching staff. This one, a bunt laid down right in front of the catcher. Reese goes for the player at second, executes it perfectly. Fielder's choice He'll send Unrein to the dugout.
How about that throw? Absolutely steaming hot throw to second base. Get that runner out. Don't let that runner get in scoring position. That's the right play to make there.
Third baseman, number 14.
And out, a runner on. It's Emily Eberwein over on first. That'll bring up Cameron Patterson into the batter's box. This one is an outside pitch. Ball 1 for Patterson today. 2 walks. We talked about how the Hounds have walked 4 different times. You know, Patterson's been 2 of them. He's had a good eye today. That one down the middle, strike 1, ties up the count. This one, swing and a miss. A ball, 2 strikes. For Patterson, who is 5th in the conference in doubles. Pretty big bat for her. The infielder here, but right now behind in the count. This one outside, ball 2. Case-Bull definitely getting used to throwing a lot of pitches at these batters. She's not getting them out in 1, 2, 3, 4 pitches. She's definitely going the distance here. Seen a couple full counts. We've seen she's walked a couple. A strikeout on another one. As this one goes foul over the fence past the visiting dugout.
These Bulldog batters are making the Greyhound pitchers work tonight, forcing them into 2-2, 3-2 counts constantly, getting their pitch count up.
Pitch count hardly a real factor in the sport of softball compared to obviously baseball, where you keep track of every single toss, but it's definitely gonna be a factor when every single batter's going here, going the distance. This will be the 6th, 7th pitch here of just this at bat alone. They've all been kind of like that, so it's been interesting to see. This will be the 18th pitch since Case-Bull came back in. It's a beautiful hit. Will go over the head of second baseman Jocelyn Calvin. Angles will corral it. That'll be a single.
You could tell that pitcher kind of hung up in the air for a second. Probably 1 second too long, allowed the batter to eye the ball quickly and square that one up.
Eberwein remembers to reach on the fielder's choice, now in scoring position on second base. Cam Patterson sits down at first base, and that will bring up, again, the big bat of Alex Beard. Had a double. Ends up coming around with a run. Last time she was up here just an inning ago. Strike. That'll be a nice pitch there from Case-Bull. For Beard, it was an RBI double. Ended up giving Truman State what they needed here to, at the time, tie. And then they end up taking the lead there. She gets this pitch down in the dirt.
You could see before that pitch, Case-Bull kind of shrugged to her catcher, didn't know what the call was. And then a wild pitch there to follow that up.
Well, look here, Reese steps up and really makes sure that everyone's on the same page as she steps out of the batter's box, steps up into the infield, and says a couple words out there. Better communication to your point, Jace. The ball striking and out. We've got 2 runners on.
Case-Bull's going to have to once again find a way out of this inning. That's what she came in to do in the 3rd, and now in the 4th, she finds herself in the same kind of position here.
After that steal a couple pitches ago, we've got Eberwein on 3rd, Cam Patterson on 2nd. Here's this one. Thought about a swing. Instead, they're going to say it was safe. The right call for sure, as Beard kind of framed it was a very obvious check swing, but they went around the diamond to see which umpire had the best look at it. Third base umpire says it was me. She's safe. Don't worry about it. 2 balls, 2 strikes, in and out. Big swing here. It's going to send this one straight up into center field. Megan Nichols going to have to launch this one, see if she can get the throw in, and she does.
Nice job by Nichols. Got that throw off immediately.
Eberwine retreats back to that third base. Reese tosses out some signs. You're right, though. What a throw there from Nichols.
Forced Eberwine to retreat back to third base, like you said. She tagged up originally thinking she could make it to home in time, but realized that throw was coming in quickly and not going to be able to make it in time.
Mackenzie West, designated player here for Truman State University, was hit by a pitch, came around to score in the second, grounded out to second base in the third, and here's her opportunity with 2 outs to try to put up a go-ahead run here for Truman State. Watches the first one go by. It's a ball. Here's pitch number 2. Swings at this one, and it goes in the dirt. That's foul. Greyhounds this season, 30-3. After that win earlier, another great start to the year for Indianapolis. This is just the first time they've played at home, though. It's pretty incredible. The home opener was delayed a couple games as we got the easy fly out. Megan Nichols really earning her check out there in center field as she gets that fly out, and that will retire the side. We got no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and we got 2 runners stranded to end the top of the 4th. When we come back, the Hounds, they'll be out here to bat. Megan Nichols to start things off for Indianapolis. That's next.
Lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor.
It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
Man, we gotta take Bryce Young, right?
What did you say?
No, it's Bryce Young. It's obviously Bryce Young.
C.J. Stroud, the obvious pick for Steichen and the Colts.
Ohio State quarterbacks, we know they don't
I mean,
win.
come on. He's got the whole offense handed to him. Check out Last Call. We've got all the sports info you need from around the nation and right here on campus. Plenty of Uindy sports.
College football and college basketball.
The NFL.
The NBA.
MLB.
Don't forget about motorsports.
And I'll give you all the gambling picks you need to know to make some money right here on Last Call, Mondays at 4 o'clock on YouTube.
Nichols up to bat for Indianapolis. After her, we're going to see Lexi Reese and Emily O'Connor, the heart of Indianapolis' lineup here as they try to retake the lead in the bottom of the 4th. Klein back into the circle. 1-0 here. There's another ball. The 2-0 pitch. Big swing picked right up by Cam Patterson, makes the throw. A 5-3 ground down will put the first out on the board here in the 4th. Megan Nichols back to the dugout.
Number 19,
Lexi Reese comes up here. Big bat for her. Her and standout star All-American pitcher Kenzie Smith this week were named to the National Player / Pitcher of the Year watch list. She's been one heck of a star for this squad, not just this year, but the last few years. Lexi Reese, 3rd on Uindy's career slugging list, 5th in the career on base percentage numbers, a reigning All-American. Her accolades go pretty far down the page, not to mention back-to-back all GLVC. When we talk about hitting home runs, Reese does it with the best of them in Greyhound history, the 5th ever Greyhound to have double-figure home run seasons. Last couple years has been a standout. As this one goes up and out of the zone, 3 straight balls makes this a tough one. Tough situation for Brianna Klein. Next pitch. Watches that one go by. It's always tough to swing at a 3-0
In 3-0, use batter. You'll see the batter sit and watch that one go by. No reason to really swing there. You're not really, I mean, a strike doesn't hurt you that much. Now you're at a 3-1. You might see her take a shot at swinging here.
Big swing, as you mentioned, right over the head of Patterson. Tracking it down is Callie Unrein. That is a double for Lexi Reese. How about that as Reese makes her way over to second base. Was 0 for 2 on the day, now records her first hit this game, and it's a big one.
Definitely a big one. Still tie game here, and one out, getting runner in scoring position big here. And then you get O'Connor up to bat. He's been the best batter so far this year for the Greyhounds with 5 homers. Actually 6, including that one in the last game.
Here's the next swing, taken. This one sent high up into the air, into center field, and that one is over. Over the fence, over the net, into the grass, out by the road. How about Emily O'Connor?
Let's make it 7 home runs.
You talked about how big of a hitter she was. You talked about how she had one already, and this time, waste no time launching this one over the fence in center field of Bump Gardner Field. Big hit there for Emily O'Connor. They're singing it goodbye. A 2-run bomb gives the Greyhounds that 2-run advantage.
First baseman, number 20.
Those are the kind of hits we saw constantly in that first game, which gave the Greyhounds such a big advantage early on.
Reese will score with her. Got 2 RBIs on that swing from Emily O'Connor. Now up to bat, a tough act to follow. How about Shelby Cook? A sac fly in the first. Singled, came around to score. In the third, takes this one. Another great hit. Goes into shy center field on the knee to pick that one up. Emily Eberwine. Not in time, though, obviously. It was a great hit for Shelby Cook. She gets on. Third hit of the inning. Third straight hit. And now if you're Brianna Klein, you got to start thinking a little bit more in length about these pitches.
Yeah, a few straight batters here, some good contact, 2 really good hits, and then also a homer. She's allowed now in 3 straight batters. She's got to be careful here.
Sydney Perry struck out in the first, doubled, was stranded at third base just an inning ago, and she is now up here with 1 runner on, 1 out. The runner is Shelby Cook by herself out there in first base. Perry steps into the box, a right-handed hitter. Swings at this one, sends it straight up in the air. Very playable here, as that is caught with ease by the second baseman. Rather, it's the first baseman to walk over and make that play, and Lauren Stady.
Keeping number 25, Dominic Proctor.
2 outs now as Proctor comes up to take a swing here. Takes one right off the bat and just out of the glove of Cam Patterson. That will be a hit. That advances a runner into scoring position. Cook stands on second. Proctor now on first after that single. And what a hit from her. A couple times now where she's just taken the first pitch she's seen. That time successful. Last couple have not been.
Last couple of batters we've been seeing, they're swinging out earlier on now in the pitch counts and giving themselves a chance here. Earlier we saw they kind of let the first few go by, get a favorable count, but now we're seeing them swing a little bit earlier on. That's has to do a little bit with some more strikes heading their way, but
it's a strike there. A nice pitch from Klein, trying to rebound from a couple tough batters coming up here, really giving her some good swings. Here's another one on their run, launches this one up, and it'll go foul. No balls, 2 strikes. Those 2 outs here, Hounds by 2. Via the big bat of Emily O'Connor, scored Lexi Reese as well after her double. Talked about how dangerous it can be to be in the heart of your lineup coming up here at this juncture of the game, and And while Nichols wasn't able to do much, the next two after her were, and Cook now and Proctor on base as well. Here's a swing. This one sent to foul territory. And that's where it will end up. A foul ball, another one. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Jace, a tough spot to be in if you're swinging the stick.
Definitely a tough spot to be in because you can throw a heater right here, might get her out. We'll see what she brings to the pitcher.
The next one swung on. They're going to talk about this instead. It's a ball. Good job hanging that one back. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Third base umpire confirms it. Here's the next one. Also watch that one go by a little high. Good eye from her. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. And Shelby Cook on second. Don Proctor on first.
If you keep adding the 2s, 2 runs scored this inning.
It's a 2-run lead here. If we really want to have fun, Jace, 2 of us sitting here. This one, a beautiful hit over the head of Callie Unrein. That'll score 1. That will score just 1 as Proctor stays put at third. But how about that hit?
RBI double. Once again, we've seen a lot of those now from both teams.
Megan Weiniger makes her way over to second base. You're right, another RBI double. We've seen quite a bit of those. Weiniger's double will bring up your 9-hole hitter in Tori Angles. Comes up fresh off a walk. She got stranded in the third, all the way back in the second, grounded out.
Tori Angles.
Shelby Cook makes it around the bases and adds another to the tally for Uindy. They are up by 3 now. First pitch, a strike. Angles, the rare left-handed hitter here for Indianapolis. Big hit to the helmet. Put her on first base now. And you know what that does? That puts the Ducks on the pond here. How about that? Heard that pop from up here pretty loudly. Tori Angles took one to the helmet.
It brings back the top of the order once again. Here's Calvin.
Number 8, second baseman.
Big bat of Jocelyn Calvin. How about Truman State, though? They lead the GLVC and hit by pitches when they throw. I mean, on both sides. They get hit the most, and they hit the most batters. It's been something here, and we'll see a pitching change as first-year head coach at Truman State, Ron Farrell, decides to pull the plug on the day for Brianna Klein. Bring in Brooke Nutter, the freshman righty here. And as she warms up, we'll step aside. Return momentarily. Uindy TV, GLVC Sports Network.
Award-winning news coverage. Brought to you by ethical journalists that care about you. We have you covered on crime, latest on sports, and the best in entertainment. This is Uindy TV News.
Welcome back here. We're back here at Baumgardner Field. Nathaniel Finch with Jace Hodge. Our sideline reporter is Elijah Sutton. The Hounds. Nice 3 runs here at the bottom of the 4th, giving them a 3-run lead. It just led to a pitching change. Brianna Klein's night will end 3 2/3 inning into this contest. Not eligible for the win or the losses. She will end allowing 13 hits from the Greyhounds. 7 runs have gone on her account as well. And the 3 that are on base, if they were to score, would also go under the name of Brianna Klein. As a new pitcher, Brooke Nutter. She's a freshman, tosses this one up and out of the zone. 2 straight balls to start off her day. Nutter from Columbia, Missouri. Here's the next one. Right in the zone. That one is a strike. 2 balls and a strike with 2 outs. Talked about how powerful of a hitter Jocelyn Calvin can be. She is 2 for 3 with 2 runs today. Big swing here, ropes it right down the baseline. That will score 1. That will score 2. And that will send a 3rd one on third base. How about that hit right down the line, Jace? You couldn't have kept it any tighter there from Jocelyn Calvin, as she now gets another RBI double. This time it's a 2 RBI extra base hit.
And that one blew the game open now. The floodgates starting to open here for the Greyhounds, leading by 5 runs now, and still 2 runners in scoring position here.
And Nichols gets her 2nd crack at it here just this inning, as the Hounds have batted through this one high and outside. Proctor scored, Weiniger scored. Leaves Angles over there on 3rd, and of course Calvin enjoying her extra base hit, standing on 2nd. 2 runners in scoring position. The Hounds up by 5. That one just dropped right in the changeup into the zone for a strike.
That one hung around for a little bit.
Yeah.
I expected her to take a crack at that one and launch that one. But
the windup comes across, another big hit. Same spot as the last one. This will score 1. This will score 2. Yet another RBI double. This time 2 of them cross the plate yet again, and just like that, boy, are the floodgates open. 11-4, your score. Nothing is stopping this Greyhounds offense. They have come awake.
they are alive and well now. 7-run inning has blown this game wide open, and they're just going around the batting order now, going at it.
The 4th double of this inning for Indianapolis. They're having all the success in the world. As here we'll see Lexi Reese come at it and watch a strike cross the plate. Again, doing most of this with 2 outs. Sydney Perry, she was the 5th batter here, got the 2nd out of the inning, and since then, I mean, the Hounds, they've scored 4, have a 5th one on base. Reese batting with the runner in scoring position. This one another high and outside one. For Reese today, 1 and 2, she scored a run. An RBI double earlier this inning, actually. Couple flyouts here to start the contest, but this inning she's been getting it done, so have the rest of the Greyhounds. Watches this one go. Another ball, 2-1's the count. Another ball, 3-1 is the count. How about this? An outstanding 7 runs in this inning alone, Jace. You know, what's really led to Uindy being able to find all this dominance all of a sudden?
Seemed like the pitcher there, starting pitcher for Truman State, started to kind of lose her stuff there, and they took advantage of that and got a bunch of runners on, and now with the freshmen in the game, they're right here. You go, see another one.
Launches this one into straightaway center field, picked up pretty easily for the final out. And as we say that, the final out picked up of the inning, so that will end this one at the bottom of the 4th. 7 runs here for Indianapolis. They scored with 7 hits there. They've got 15 total hits in the game. No errors. They got a runner left on in scoring position on second base. With that, we'll return top of the fifth. Next, awaiting will be Truman State's lineup. We'll get to that next right here on Uindy TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes. College sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
The Hounds, an electric 7 runs in that fourth inning, puts a score 11-4. Now Truman State with a chance to respond. Still on the mound for Indianapolis, Jaden Casebolt. We've got the starting pitcher of this game. She left the game from the circle here in that last half inning, but she gets to stay in and take a few swings here. Watches the first one go by as a ball for Klein, or as a strike, that is, for Klein. Fielder's choice, got out in the second. Singled, made her way to second and the third, and then was stranded. No action in the fourth. That brings us here to inning number 5, in which case she gets to lead off. Behind her will be Lauren Stady, Maria McGonigal. Next pitch, watches it go out. Ball 2, strike 1 with no outs, nobody on. And with that, gives us a chance to talk to our sideline reporter in Elijah Sutton after this pitch as we see the windup swung foul. Elijah, what do you have?
Man, I know we've been talking about the cold and how they've been trying to stay warm.
Well, you look pretty bundled up down there as well.
Hey, I've been down there with the spectators dancing to every single walkout song to stay warm with them. The spectators are really trying to make it entertaining for the girls, too, out there.
Yeah, Colin Jung, our cameraman, was doing the same thing out there, trying to stay warm, dancing around to these songs.
Absolutely. It definitely helps. It definitely keeps you entertained. I was able to tame some hand warmers from one of the fans, which is really nice.
How about that? Some good citizens of Indianapolis helping you out.
It's real good out there, but this has been a way more entertaining game. I really like what's going on. But back up to you, Nathan, Jace.
Appreciate that, Elijah. How about Uindy opening up the floodgates? An offensive explosion. On the other end, here's Jaden Casebolt to drop that pitch in the dirt. Puts the count at full. Klein to lead off. Here comes the payoff pitch. Top of the 5th here. Takes a big cut. This one goes foul. Just past the visiting dugouts near the fence there. Kind of between first base and right field. Saw Cook give chase, didn't matter. Would have been a tough one to track down. Still full count. Klein, the starting pitcher, takes this swing, hits right through the gap, and that will be a single for her. Her second one today, second in back-to-back trips to the plate.
And if you're the Bulldogs here, you're going to want to get some runs on the board because it is that 5th inning, which means the 8-run rule is now applied if the Greyhounds can add some runs in the bottom half of this inning.
First baseman number 3, Lauren Stady.
I mean, once we get to that 6th inning, the Hounds are up by 6, and that is the end of the contest. So you're right, time really running out here for Truman State. Want to put together some runs, keep playing this game, and see how long they can go here with the Hounds as that pitch just tucked inside that strike zone. Lauren Stady reached on an error, reached on a single these last 2 at-bats, and was stranded on first both times. This one a pop-up. Tough play to make, but Sydney Perry tracks it down. catches it around Emily O'Connor and Weiniger out there as well. It'll be a fly out here for Stady. Bring in McGonigal.
Second baseman number 4, Maria McGonigal.
The next pitch, this one is high above the visor here of McGonigal, who had a sacrifice ground out but still scored a run. That was Mackenzie West, who crossed the plate all the way back in the second. Reached base on balls but was stranded on first base in the third. That was, of course, the masterclass of a strikeout that Jaden Casebolt put on Macy Taylor with the bases loaded. McGonigal was that third person to get on base here all the way back in that third inning, and then was eventually stranded from the Taylor strikeout. Great pitch from Jaden Casebolt in that regard. This time pops it up and tracking it down. Jocelyn Calvin picks it up pretty easily. Has to take a few steps into the grass, but does so with ease, and now we've got 2 quick outs. So Klein got her single. Since then,
Right fielder number
seen it
2,
fly
Macy
out to the
Taylor.
shortstop, fly out to second baseman. Brings up the aforementioned Macy Taylor. Ground out and a strikeout. Second and third inning. She's 0 for 2 today. Looking to bunt here instead. Takes a nice little drop right in between 3 defenders. Was a beautiful little slap bunt there. You saw she was choked up so high, but it worked out perfect.
Dropped that one right in the perfect spot to advance the runners here. Right in between the third baseman, the left fielder, and the shortstop. Right in that gap there.
See a new player come up to hit here for Truman State. It's Maddie McCarty from Kirksville, Missouri. She's a freshman. Take a few swings here. For McCarty this season, a 2.42 batting average. Doesn't see a ton of time. This will be her 34th plate appearance of the year. Does have 11 runs, 8 hits. Has been struck out 4 times this season. Still pinch hit. Watches that one go by. It's a strike. Next one, a big swing, and she was chasing that one, Jace, just out of the zone. A tough one to try to take, and she couldn't get it.
And that one was just going out of the zone almost the entire time, but she chased that one, took a huge swing trying to send that one out of the park.
Trying to earn herself some more ABs, and she can't do it as she gets struck out there. Her second strikeout of the contest for Jaden Casebolt. With that, we will exit, head into the bottom of the 5th. No runs scored for Truman State. That inning they did have 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. When we come back, bottom of the 5th, Hounds will be up to bat next here, and we will see some big bats for Indianapolis. That's next right here, Uindy TV, GLVC Sports Network.
Are you feeling alone in your faith? Uindy Catholic gives you an opportunity to get involved in a religious community on campus, providing sacramental needs and fellowship for prospective students and giving you a sense of belonging.
We just want you guys to know that God loves you, He delights in you, and He's in awe of you, and we would love to meet you. So you should come on out.
Uindy Catholic, a community for you.
To them, the whole world looks like an opportunity, one to be seized.
Back here, Baumgardner Field, Uindy an 11-4 lead for Truman State. We get the defensive substitution to match up with the offensive one. We just saw Maddie McCarty pinch hit for Callie Unrein. She's going to replace her in the field as well.
Look who's up to bat. Emily O'Connor cranked one to center field last inning.
2 home runs today. If she gets one here, it will finish out the contest. We're in the bottom of the 5th. And, of course, via that mercy rule, if a team is leading after 5 innings by 8 runs, they would end. And there's no need to play to the end of this inning because they are at the home half of it. So the next run for Indianapolis in this inning would finish out the contest. And finish out a great doubleheader here at Baumgardner Field. Weather not always cooperating at times, but it's a good day of softball here. Finally able to get that home opener under their belt. It's been tough. They've had to postpone them a couple times, but, you know, they're over 30 wins into the season and finally get to have this home opener. Next pitch inside, but it's a strike. O'Connor watched it go by. 1-2 is the count. Brooke Nutter, nice pitch.
And that was right on the edge of the zone there, forcing the umpire into a tough call, but nice pitch there. Especially on O'Connor, who just cranked one to center field and cranked one earlier in the first game as well.
Watches that one low and in the dirt. 2-2 is the count here for Emily O'Connor. 2 times all Midwest region. First team a season ago, second team 2 years ago, also on the all GLVC team. Senior from New Palestine High School, plays third base. Great player for the Hounds. Watches that one go up as well. That fills the count. O'Connor today, a single, stranded on second. And then she lined out to right field in the third. However, the big one came in the fourth. It was a 2-run bomb past center field over the net into the street. And she watches that one go by, and that will put her. She'll reach on balls here. Emily O'Connor on first. Shelby Cook to come up behind her.
And it gets the winning run on the bags.
Odd thing to say when you're up 11-4, but you're right. I mean, that she absolutely is. Shelby Cook, 2 singles today, 2 runs. She did have a sacrifice fly in that first. Take a few practice cuts, listen to that walk-up music that she gets to enjoy on her way up.
So they brought on a pinch runner as well. In place of O'Connor, they brought on Nicole Pierce.
Pinch running for Uindy, number 16, Nicole Pierce. At the plate for your Greyhounds, number 23, first baseman, Shelby Cook.
Cook comes on to take a few swings. No balls, no strikes, no outs as Pierce now stands on first. Takes the first pitch, goes through the zone. We encourage you guys to stick around after the game. We'll have an interview with UND head coach following this one, as this one goes into the ground. Melissa Frost, kind enough to give us her time following this doubleheader contest, the home opener. Had a good conversation with her pregame. Jace was saying that, you know, this week the Hounds hit the best that they had maybe ever, in her opinion. And obviously they came out and translated 18 runs in that first one. They've got 11 runs so far, really liking the way that they're able to come out here and swing the bat. And she said big reason why, you know, a few days back-to-back of practice where they were hitting phenomenally. This one low and away. First ball of the count. You know, when you get 2 quick strikes like that, Jace, you can throw a few out and just seeing what you can try to bait.
Force the batters to chase. It's always something you'll see pitchers do in an 0-2 count.
Does it again here, low and away yet again. Very similar spot. This time tucked a little bit closer where you might think about chasing it, but still nothing. It'll tie up the count. Nutter with the 2-2. High. That one just seemed to get away from her a little bit maybe, and that will fill the count.
You could tell as soon as it left her hand, that was going high. And a good job here by Cook to work her way back into this count now.
2 straight strikes thrown by Brooke Nutter, then 3 straight that were outside of the zone. Here's the payoff pitch. Swung on, sent right to the first baseman. This could be trouble. First one is good. You got the out there Great throw from Lauren Stady, but they don't try to go for the double play. As we'll see Cook reach on a fielder's choice. Oh, Nicole Pierce not able to make it over to second base. Bring up Sydney Perry today. Struck out in the first, doubled in the third. Scored a run there and then was stranded on third base. That was in the third inning, and then flew out to the first baseman in the fourth inning. That brings her up now here in the fifth. One for three on the day. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Underneath the zone. Got one out. Runner on base. That's Shelby Cook. Another one underneath the zone. 3-0 is the count. Seen a few straight balls here thrown by Brooke Nutter.
And she's got to be careful here. She doesn't want to walk Uindy here. That would put a runner into scoring position with the chance to walk this game off.
Nutter this season, a 9.43 ERA. 15 appearances. Started one game. Pitched 23 innings. Allowed 28 hits, 36 runs, 31 of them earned. Came in here with a tough task, and since then, after a good job coming in for the first couple pitches, she's kind of struggled. Came in to replace Brianna Klein with, two runners on, ended up loading the bases there, and it's tough. This is a tough offense to try to contain. Ball goes up and out of the zone after the walk.
With that runner in second now, the classic RBI double that we've seen all day long can end the game right here.
Tell you what, Jace, it's been a day of firsts here. Uindy TV, the first time that they broadcasted a softball game. Pretty fun game here to start it out, as this one sent high up into the air. Going to be tracked down by Maddie McCarty, but no, she drops it. They can still get the out at third, and they do.
That's a tough one there for Cook there. She was at second. She thought he was going to catch it, so she's going to go back to second base, but the drop pitch forced her to run with the runner already being at first.
Proctor stands on first.
Left fielder number 5, Megan Weiniger.
Reaches on that error. Perry on second. She represents the winning run in scoring position. Weiniger takes a few steps out of the box. So just like I was saying, not just a first for Uindy TV, also a first for you. First time you've worn the headset for a softball game, and you've done pretty good so far. What are your thoughts?
It's been a blast so far, Nathaniel. It's always a blast calling any game.
Definitely got plenty of these opportunities with baseball and softball games running rampant here at Uindy, and with both being pretty good teams this season. Uindy baseball getting a big win, putting up 13 runs up against Umsel on the road today. Got some good teams here at Uindy. Obviously, Uindy softball team, perennial contenders to get to the World Series. Last time they've been is 2015, but they were a win away just 2 years ago. Went up to Grand Valley State, lost to the Lakers in that championship game, but they were, a win away from making it to the World Series. Then last season, hosted regionals, ended up falling, just a couple games into that tournament. But it's always a team that can contend to make it to that final weekend, and it's been fun watching these guys the last few years. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Takes a swing, goes right to the first baseman who reaches out. Tag out will extend the game as we hit the end of the fifth with no runs scored. Didn't see any hits there either. So with that, we'll head over to the top of the 6th inning. Emily Eberwine will come up next. That's right here, Uindy TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
Bryce Young, right?
What did you say?
No, it's Bryce Young. It's obviously Bryce Young.
C.J. Stroud, the obvious pick for Steichen and the Colts.
Ohio State quarterbacks, we know they don't win.
Come on. He's got the whole offense handed to him. Check out Last Call. We've got all the sports info you need from around the nation, and right here on campus, plenty of Uindy sports.
College football and college basketball.
The NFL.
The NBA.
MLB.
Don't forget about motorsports.
And I'll give you all the gambling picks you need to know to make some money right here on Last Call, Mondays at 4 o'clock on YouTube.
The world's a crazy place, and it's only getting crazier. And it seems like no one wants to talk about it. So I'm going to. That's why I created Real Talk, a roundtable discussion show where each week I bring on different guests to talk about hot button issues in society. Join me every week to get your questions answered, Wednesdays at 1 p.m.
We're back here at Bumgardner Field. Just saw a promotion for a couple of Uindy TV studio shows if you're watching on YouTube. Real Talk with Hannah Hurley being that last one that you saw. I encourage you guys to check that one out. How about a big addition to the Uindy TV studio? Got new television display there. Big video wall you see on a lot of those big TV stations. Got one in our Uindy TV studio now. Looking forward to what the shows can become. Looking forward to the next few weeks of Uindy TV. See what kind of content we can put together. Check it out on YouTube, Uindy TV. Or you're watching on the GLVC Sports Network. And, of course, carrying all of Uindy's athletics top to bottom. And folks in the Sports Information Department always doing such a good job with that. Is this one lifted up high into the air, trying to track it down. There's two fielders out there. They end up making the play as Uindy there with Tori Engels reaches over Jocelyn Calvin, makes that catch. A couple smiles between them. Could have been dangerous, but ends up making that first out.
Yeah, Calvin was under almost the entire time, but Engels took it from it right at the last second. But nice job by Calvin to duck there, realizing Engels was behind her and had the angle on the ball.
Cam Patterson comes up, watches the strike go by. Beautiful pitch from Jaden Casebolt. Looking at Patterson's day so far, first two appearances, first inning, third inning, she was walked, and then she got a single out. So call her 1 for 1 today with 2 walks. Ended up scoring a run on that second walk back in the third inning. Was stranded on second in the fourth. Stranded twice today. It's always tough to get on base like that and then have to head to the dugout outside of your own power. A ball and a strike with 1 out here. Watch that one go by a little high and outside of the zone. Good eye there. Good eye from Cam Patterson. Into the zone. Ties up the count. From the pitching circle, Jaden Casebolt launches this one across. It's outside, but swung on and missed. Strike 3. That's another strikeout there for Jaden Casebolt. A nice one. Puts up the second out of this inning.
Since she's come in, she's done a really nice job not allowing a single run. She had a few iffy moments there in that 5th inning, but now here she's taking control.
First pitch of this AB is a ball. We've got the big bat of Alexis Beard up. An RBI double back in the third. Her lone hit, other two have been flyouts. This time sends it foul into the parking lot. One for 3 is the day for Alex Beard. She heads in with the 1-1 count. Next one goes across the plate. It's a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. Got these 2 outs here. After striking out Cam Patterson, we'll see what Jaden Casebolt has in store. Launches another one that's going to be sent to Calvin, who sends it over the first baseman, and Shelby Cook gets the out, retires the side, and finishes off the top half of the 6th inning. More next when we return right here, Uindy TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
No errors and no runners left.
Award-winning news coverage. Brought to you by ethical journalists that care about you. We have you covered on crime, latest on sports, and the best in entertainment. This is Uindy TV News.
Leading off the bottom of the 6th inning for your Greyhounds, right fielder number 11, Tori Angles.
Welcome back here. Uindy TV, TLBC Sports Network, Baumgardner Field, home of the Indianapolis Greyhounds, currently up to bat. Leading off for the Hounds in that swing and a miss is Tori Angles. After her, you flip the lineup card to the top. Jocelyn Calvin and Macon Nichols guaranteed to see some action here. Well, don't want to say guaranteed actually, Jace, because as you noted last inning, we're at that point in the game. Hounds up by 7, you get a run. Up by 8, Mercy Rule takes effect.
Sure does. So one ball out of the park and it's all game over.
No balls, 2 strikes. Brooke Nutter's got to love the position she's in here. Gets to throw a little bit further away from the plate, seeing what she can get, if she can get Angles to chase. Angles 0 for 1 on the day. Walked, stranded on first, hit by a pitch, ended up going around the bases and scored a run here. Takes this swing and it goes foul. Next pitch outside of the zone. For Angles this season, batting right at 300. Has seen quite a bit of action this year, 27 starts. 18 hits, 17 runs, seen 60 ABs coming into this afternoon. Takes this swing and it goes out of bounds. Foul, that is.
We've seen Nutter here getting a lot of long pitch counts here and a lot of long at-bats.
This one, despite the good framing from Alex Beard, will be a ball. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The payoff. Swung on, hit very well. This one into left center field. That'll be at least a double. The leadoff double here, a great one from Tori Angles. Picks up her first hit of the day.
Finding those gaps again in between the center fielder and the left fielder this time. Those are almost always guaranteed doubles if you get that ball to the wall.
Second baseman, number 8, Jocelyn Calvin.
That is the 8th double today that the Greyhounds have found a way to earn. It's been impressive. And you know what? Now suddenly the lineup card flips. Jocelyn Calvin is going to be at home plate here. Obviously dangerous bats for the next 4 or 5, to say the least, for Uindy. Runner in scoring position.
How about Calvin so far? 3 runs, 3 hits, 3 RBIs. Having a really good afternoon for herself.
A fantastic day. The lone blip on the score sheet here in this contest was a 6-3 grounder that got her out in the third, but batted each of the first 4 innings, and like you mentioned, got a few hits, a couple extra base hits, some RBIs, and scored all 3 times that she was on base. 347 batter this season coming into today. Had 18 runs on the year, and obviously, like we said, she has 3 today just in this game alone. It's been impressive. 26 hits coming into the contest, able to improve on that as well. Very good day. Two balls and a strike. That one well in the dirt. About 10 feet off where it needed to be.
Here's a 3-1 count where you see batters swing it pretty often here, so we'll see if Calvin takes a swing at this one, tries to put it in play and give Ingles a chance to score the run here.
Ingles on second, eagerly awaiting the crack of this bat, and she gets it, and if she comes around, that will be it, and there it is. It's an error out in center field as Emily Eberwein not able to get it. This one could be more. How about an inside the park home run? No, they do have a little bit of mercy there as Calvin will stop at third. How about the day that she had? As this contest finishes 12-4, the final score. Calvin, she saw 5 appearances at the plate, 4 hits for her, 3 extra base hits, and high fives around for everyone as Uindy. It was touch and go for a while. They were actually down there in the third and the top of the fourth, but then suddenly that 7-run bottom of the fourth, really what propelled them here. They just needed 1 run to close it out, and they do win on a mercy rule. That's now 6 straight games that they have done so against Truman State to go on to win now 18 straight against the Bulldogs and close this one out 12-4. Here momentarily we will have an interview down on the field with Uindy's head coach Melissa Frost, our own Elijah Sutton, to perform that and ask her those questions. But in the meantime, I mean, Jace, your final thoughts here from what was a very well-played game for Uindy.
Like you mentioned there, it was touch and go. Truman State came out second game after getting blown out in the first game and put in a pretty good effort in those first few innings, but they just lost their bats. They lost their way. The Greyhounds got a few good hits, and there it was.
The final today, 12-4. Uindy won the first one, 18-3. We'll allow Coach Frost to go have a conversation with the team and then have a conversation with Elijah Sutton. Elijah, let's hear what you got. Elijah, we'll wait on, like we said, Coach Frost to finish that conversation. Uindy, though, 17 hits to score these 12 runs. 8 doubles. I mean, Jace, that was impressive. That was really the determining factor today. 12 RBIs. A very impressive day here for the offense and the defense. Uindy allowing just 4 earned runs compared to 12 for Truman State. All 12 of Uindy's in that earned category.
They're ranked 6th in the nation right now. Really good shot to possibly host that regional this year, and looking good right now. 31-3. That's a pretty good record, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's been an impressive start to the season. Obviously, like we said, it's still a young season. This is their first home game, and yet, you know, they're able to come out and play like they are here, and they'll start getting more fans in the stands as the weather starts to turn a little bit more in our favor. It'll be an impressive end of the season here. Interested to see how this team finishes out their season, but there's still plenty of softball left to be played. Let's go on up to, or down to the sideline that is here with Elijah and Coach Frost. Currently not able to hear Elijah. Some technical difficulties here. We'll go to break, do this here in just a moment.
I'm here with Coach Melissa Frost for the Uindy Hounds. So, you played 32 games, now 34. I know it's a lot colder here than it is in Florida. I know Florida had to be nice, though. But how's it feel being back on Bumgarner Field and getting those 2 solid wins?
Well, it's about 50 degrees cooler, so yeah, I mean, it's tough conditions today, but we're just really blessed and excited to be back home and in front of our home fans and just the excitement that they bring. We're just super jacked to be played at home.
I bet. Those are 2 unquestionable wins, but it was real entertaining to watch you guys play. So how do you feel about getting these girls out the cold? Because I know y'all are shivering.
Yeah, I think they played well. I think the conditions were tough today, but unfortunately that's softball at times. And so I was just proud of their fight. I was proud of their grit and just proud of the way they stayed in it and did the job that we need to get done.
Well, that was a real entertaining game to watch. So thank you. I'll try to get you out this cold.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Elijah. We appreciate you and head coach Melissa Frost's time there. Big thank you for that post-game interview. I'd like to thank everyone on the crew, not only for the GLVC Sports Network, but for Uindy TV. Our sideline reporter is Elijah Sutton. To my right, color commentator for the first time today is Jace Hodge. I'm Nathaniel Finch signing off from Bumgarner Field.